Well, recently the internet was deeply moved by the passing of a social media influencer, Tanner Martin. Just 41 days after becoming a father, he died after his 5-year journey with colon cancer. He was just 30 years old. He even recorded a video to be shared by his wife after his passing. It's a critical conversation that's now being reignited as we see that colon cancer is impacting younger people at an alarming rate. So joining us live this morning, we have Dr. Neil Parikh here, Chief of Gastroenterology at Hartford Hospital and Chief Innovation Officer at Connecticut GI. First, Doctor, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's a really important conversation here, and it does seem we're seeing a rise in colon cancer cases among younger adults. Is that truly the trend? Are we just hearing about it more? What's happening?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is the trend. We're seeing a significant rise in early onset colorectal cancer in our younger people. A stat I often quote is people who are millennials have twice the risk of colon cancer than someone born in the 1950s. And that risk goes to 4 times as high or quadruples if you look at rectal cancer alone. So it's not just a figment of our imagination, it's true.
Wow. What factors do you think are contributing to this?
Yeah, it's probably multifactorial. Our diet, our lifestyle, our genetics, and I also like to believe environmental exposure. So when we think of diet, we think of processed, ultra processed foods, our potential carcinogens. Our lifestyle, we are traditionally more sedentary than our ancestors. Central obesity, smoking play a role. And one factor I think that's still being evaluated is environmental exposure. So microplastics, antibiotics likely change our gut flora. And I wonder if this change in our microbiome is then contributing to our increased risk of colon cancer. And I guess one last point is also the delay in the diagnosis, right? The American Cancer Society states that a younger person, it takes them twice as long to achieve the diagnosis of colorectal cancer than an older person. So we need to change that narrative, all of us together.
Yeah, and it lends the importance of making those doctor's appointments and keeping them. We all live such busy lives. It's so easy to miss the warning signs, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For those watching at home, what are some of the red flags that people under 45 should be aware of?
Yeah, great question. The red flags in general are there regardless of age. The biggest one we see in our younger patients is rectal bleeding. So studies show 50%, so half the people with early onset colorectal cancer will have rectal bleeding. Now, you get rectal bleeding for other reasons as well, but rectal bleeding, change in bowel habits, unintentional weight loss, or low blood counts on your routine labs, if those things persist, you should really speak with your healthcare provider.
All right, and while you're in there, obviously you have to be your own advocate. What questions should people be asking their doctors when they're in these appointments about screening and other questions? What should people be bringing up?
Yeah, so I think screening, as you mentioned, 45 is the age that we are now accustomed to, right? That is the age. But patients who have family history, so know your family history. If you know your family history, if you have certain conditions like inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, you may need to be screened earlier than 45, even 10 years earlier. And so to be aware of what you're bringing to the table is important. And I think what can we do as society to change our incidence? Lifestyle changes,
Right.
dietary choices, environmental exposures, all those things that we talked about earlier, I think can change this trajectory.
All right, Dr. Neil Parikh joining us from Hartford Hospital. Thank you so much talking to us about such an important topic that this sad story, the social media influencer has got us talking about, but hopefully it lends people to make that appointment that we were talking about. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.